Let's go to Jackson, Mississippi right now. City Councilmember Aaron Banks is live with us this morning. First of all, thank you, because I know that you're helping those residents as we speak, and you take the time to be with us. But we want to share with the country what it's like where you are right now.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this for Jackson, Mississippi. It's rough. Before this happened, it's been a little over a month now where we've been under boil water notices. Our restaurant community spending everywhere between $600 to $700 a day for bottled water and canned goods. For me and my family, we've had to drive 10 to 12 minutes from our house to my mother's house to shower and to freshen up so that we can do the things that we need to do. And then also, just for me personally, just making sure that, that all hands are on deck, and making sure that the constituents out here in South Jackson, which are always affected the hardest, are getting the resources that they need.
And we've seen these long lines of people waiting for water, the hardships on businesses, as we just heard in that earlier report. The grit in the water, is that what you've experienced? Is there that grit in the water? Have you been boiling water when you can't make it over to your family's house?
Yes. I mean, even when you boil the water, there is grit in it. It still has, it's a little clearer, but it's still more of a browner color. Look, when you open the faucet up at your house, it looks like somebody just poured you a glass of beer. Those are the things that people are dealing with. And when they see the water coming out the faucet with that brownish-like color, nobody's trusting to say, well, if I boil it, it's going to change. It's going to be all right, especially when it has somewhat of a fishy-like scent. And so, these are tough times. But I'm anxious as an elected official. This motivates me to make the tough decisions that are necessary so that we can, right now we're in budget deliberations. We are trying to do everything we can to prioritize our budget to make sure that we're able to not only provide a fix, but we're able to be prepared for emergencies like this, because this is not our first time here. 2 years ago, February, my ward went 6 weeks without water. And the sad part and the sad reality about this is that this is becoming a norm for the citizens of South Jackson.
Yeah, but why? How much longer do we deal with something like this? How can this water treatment plant be fixed so that people actually have what everybody in America should have, which is clean running water?
I am confident now that the governor has stepped in and that these called the state legislature back into session, that we're going to begin to look at not just a temporary fix. I see that you aired that they're putting in or installing a temporary pump, but a more permanent fix. What that looks like, a new pump, reserve wells, making sure that we get rid of some of the things that happen. For example, here in Ward 6 of South Jackson, you have 7 water tanks that service this area. But up in North Jackson, you got about 14 water tanks. And so I am confident now with the conversations that I've been having with some of our state and local delegation that everybody's going to put our hands on deck to make sure that we get the resources that we need. One of the things that I'm going to be asking for, one of the things that I'm doing as first vice president for the National Black Caucus of local elected officials is beginning to lobby that federal appropriations, just like ARPA did, cities oversizes 150,000, instead of them going to the state and getting hung up, that they come directly to municipalities.
Right. And I know President Biden has declared a state of emergency there, which should also aid in the recovery. Councilman Banks, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.